Reeves is doing when quarantined.
Well, because I think we can all agree. Maybe we should just explain a little bit where this is coming from. We are currently in week 4.
Oh yeah,
of
because this is
quarantining.
going to be huge,
This is
and
gonna be
also
big.
it's going to be forever.
Gonna be big and forever.
In
Oh,
the
yeah.
future,
It's gonna be
when
huge.
Yeah.
people look back on this time,
Yeah.
we should contextualize it.
Yes.
Because 100 years from now, they'll have to know that this happened.
What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're currently in week 4 of quarantine. 3 of us live in a house together.
My name is Bill.
My name is Zippy.
Hi, I'm Velma.
That's my husband Spencer. He's dressed up as Velma.
Yeah. And to be fair, you look phenomenal.
It's
You
really 4 of us that live in a house, to be honest,
That's-
because half the time Velma's here and the other half it's Spencer.
That's not incorrect.
And we're in week 4
Yeah.
of physical distancing. Which
Losing
is
our
where
minds mildly.
The Nova Scotia government has said, stay the blazes home. And we are staying home and getting blazed.
And
It's-
I mean, I felt very like McNeil was definitely speaking directly to us.
We've been partying.
we've
He
been-
was like, stop partying, you're killing people. And we were like, no.
Because we're partying, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
So it really felt very pointed, like very vice principal. I'm going to keep everyone in. No one gets recess.
Very much like stepdad to an adult child.
I feel like I'm going to have to play the devil's advocate and say
Ooh.
that he is the sanest person in Nova Scotia. And he and Strang go home and think about how to be even better people each day. And if you don't listen to them, you are the problem.
Well, I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm saying it felt very much like, oh man, we've got to get our stuff together. So we were thinking, who's got their stuff together?
Yeah.
I bet Keanu Reeves has his stuff
'Cause
together.
if we want to do quarantine the best, then we need to find an exemplar to follow. And we are pretty sure that Keanu probably has this down.
Like
He's so quiet.
He's
What is he doing? We don't know.
we have an idea. We have many ideas what Keanu's doing. So this is based in no logic, no reality, based completely on what we imagine Keanu Reeves is doing right now.
So for me, I'm pretty sure that when China first announced that there was the coronavirus, COVID-19 was happening, he probably went into lockdown like then. So he had a quarantine Christmas. But he wasn't talking about it because he didn't want to make people worried, but he was still doing the right thing even before the rest of us.
He always does the right thing, you know?
Yeah.
So we were thinking, we're like, well, what else could he be up to? So what if we just kind of start from there? He had his quarantine Christmas. Super humble, really okay with it. He felt fine. He was aligned the whole time. You know he was.
Yeah, and we don't know the people that he's with, and we don't want to speak for them because
No.
they're not public figures, and we can imagine about Keanu because he's a public figure.
Yeah.
But, so he's, assumedly, he's on his ranch. We think he's got a ranch.
But he doesn't live in the big ranch house.
No, he lets other people live in the big ranch house.
Yeah.
And he has a little shack down by the creek. So that he and just probably his dog and his guitar and the novel that he's working on are together in this tiny house.
And the novel is being written either by hand, moments by hand, and other times just internally, you know?
To say that he was writing the novel, really, he started the process, which for him is carving by hand a typewriter. And he's most of the way through the alphabet, but they're very tiny, and once he gets them all carved, he'll start to then type out the novel.
But he's internally written it already. It lives within him.
Yeah, some people question even whether you need to write a truth or whether you just let it flow through you, and that's what his novel's going to be about.
The truth.
Yeah.
Let it flow through you.
Yeah. So Keanu spent Christmas quarantined because he was ahead of the curve, as always.
As he does.
He was ahead of the curve at flattening the curve. It's a double curve banger.
For him, it's just a straight line. It wasn't a curve. It's just been flat the whole time.
Yeah, he's purposeful.
He solved coronavirus for himself.
Yeah, and he went to the ranch, moved into his tiny house, let whoever wanted to come and stay with him, his people, as it were, join him. I wonder about his food situation, though.
Well, I mean, I think we can all assume that he is very apt at hunting, gathering, things like this. Like, he can certainly bow and arrow his food.
Right, of course it would be a living off the land situation. Because on the ranch, there's a lot of nature and wildlife. And the hardest part for Keanu is all of the sort of traditional death rituals that have to be done each time you sacrifice an animal to your own survival.
How many animals do you think he's sacrificed?
Well, every day you gotta eat a rabbit.
You gotta eat a rabbit
Every
or
day?
a squirrel or whatever it happens to be. I don't think that daily. I think that sometimes he might be vegan, but then other days, when necessary, then he might sacrifice in the name of animal protein.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
And I want to say, I hesitate that he would use this word ranch. I think he might use the word homestead.
Right, it's probably more of a homestead.
Homestead.
Yeah, ranch carries a lot of like cultural baggage, whereas homestead is like more peaceful.
Yeah, he
I don't know, I
squared those
feel like
logs
he's not
himself.
very, like, super emotionally connected to things and trying to be like, whatever. I think he's just, like, quick and to the point, and he might just be like, my house.
Oh, right.
Or my property. It's like, that's what it is, but he's not gonna, like, give any defining terms to it,
But
because he
I
doesn't want
disagree
people
with
to
his property. That sounds too harsh. I don't think Keanu would call it his property.
Come on, Keanu. It's everybody's property.
It's
You just happen to hold the deed to it.
Yeah, I think Keanu knows that.
So he's retreated from the world
Yes.
in a connected way, which is difficult, but he can accomplish that. He's living off the land and keeping other people fed while he does it.
Yeah, but what do you think he does since he clearly doesn't buy into Wi-Fi? Like, how does he stay connected with the world whilst not engaging in Wi-Fi?
Does he have a personal assistant who believes in Wi-Fi?
I don't think Keanu rolls with personal assistants.
Right. He will maybe have an impersonal assistant, which doesn't even know that they work for Keanu. Just occasionally somebody says, hey, could you Google this for me? They get an anonymous telephone call from the person they call their boss.
Right.
And the boss says, can you Google this? And then the person relays to him the information over the phone. And that might be how Keanu stays informed.
I imagine he also does a lot of, like, writing on parchment and, like, sending it to people, like, down the river in a bottle and things like that.
Yeah.
Like a sketch of himself of this is what I'm looking like today.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, so that someone else can take a picture of it and put it on Instagram.
It's like Zoom. It's like the lo-fi Zoom, you know? The next question is, what is this podcast going to be called? I mean, I think that's the main thing that everyone wants to know is like, well, of course this was going to happen. Someone was going to create a podcast about what is Keanu Reeves doing.
What if we called it Keanu Cast?
Keanu Cast, that's an option. Or we're just spitballing
Cast
here.
Keanu.
My pitch is imagining Keanu.
Ooh, imagining Keanu. Or we had one earlier on today, Keanu Teen.
Oh, right, like a play on quarantine.
Yeah, quarantine.
Keanu Teen.
But I think maybe we might want to open this up after COVID and this becomes viral, this podcast that we're doing that becomes really culturally important. That maybe we should not put it specifically to COVID.
Okay, I'm willing to open that. We just need space for when Keanu wants to join us at the table.
Keanews.
Oh! Keanews!
Updates about Keanu.
In today's Keanews.
Yes.
We've got breaking Keanews.
Oh my gosh.
Breaking Keanews.
I think this is what it is.
Breaking Keanu.
Yeah, breaking Keanu's. But also, we also just want to let everyone out there know that we're not breaking anything or anyone. This is completely imaginary, and that if Keanu Reeves chooses to join us, it's fully on his own volition.
And he can also continue to make things up about his life, and it doesn't have to be true.
Yeah, that's right.
On today's session of Keanews, we've got the Reeves report. We could have... yeah? No?
This is about to get really in depth.
Yeah. It's gonna be like Keanu Reeves 24/7.
I don't think we can lean into it being that... I'm just going to full disclosure, I can't commit to 24/7.
No, me
Oh,
neither.
no, me neither.
Oh, okay.
But
But
I mean,
people
it's
can
just
just play
like-
this on repeat, is what you mean.
Sure. It's available 2/7, and also we're covering what he's doing 2/7.
Oh, we're always just aware.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
How does Keanu spend his day?
Should we just go from like when he wakes
Well,
up
he wakes up
with the
and
sunrise?
he does a workout.